This is 27. It doesn't matter what I've been through. I should grow up too, but I still act like I'm 11. I'm not emotionally sound since I left you. And no, I don't like to be the bad guy. I won't be surprised if I'm the last one now. But I had you where I wanted you, never had to ask. I'd set the world on fire just to get it back. I don't know how it feels to be someone you love, and it gets me down, down, down. Yeah, I had you where I wanted you, never had to ask. I'd set the world on fire just to get it back. Don't know how it feels to be someone you love, and it gets me down. I let it slip somehow. I let it slip somehow. So this is 27. Start the music, kill the silence. Let my mind rest. Pour a drink cause it's effective. Can't seem to get my head around why I left you. And no, I don't like to be the bad guy. You know I don't lie, I really miss you now. But I had you where I wanted you, never had to ask. I'd set the world on fire just to get it back. I don't know how it feels to be someone you love, and it gets me down. Yeah, I had you where I wanted you, had you by my side. It was all I ever needed, but couldn't realize. I don't know how it feels to be someone you love, and it gets me down. I let it slip somehow. Oh, I let it slip somehow. So start the music, kill the silence. Pour a drink and let my mind rest. Cause I had you where I wanted you, never had to ask. I'd set the world on fire just to get it back. Don't know how it feels to be someone you love, and it gets me down, down, down. Yeah, I had you where I wanted you, never had to ask. I'd set the world on fire just to get it back. I don't know how it feels to be someone you love.
So hard to see from the moment we arrived. Cornelia, you are one who will survive. When time's been bad, you put smiles on everyone. Think of you and of all I should have done. It don't mean a thing what shape or form that you're in, the place you're from, the wealth or the color of your skin. When all you have burns to the sky, it's all too late. You wonder why, Cornelia. Your everyday is a struggle and a strife. But don't you agree? With beating hearts, we're still alive. There comes a time when all
Driving down the road that I grew up on once again. It's when I pass your door, the memories come back again. Pictures of us flooding back just like a wave. Makes me wonder what happened, what you're up to today. Remember when we stole your mother's car, we drove for days. Teenagers with too many feelings and rage. We were higher than the ceiling, little fingers to the sky. I remember thinking if I only could stop the time. Way back when we didn't care what they said. People could stare, I didn't give a damn, 'cause I was being next to you. Way back when we didn't care what they said. People could stare, I didn't give a damn, 'cause all I needed was my friend. Way back when, way back when, way back when. Remember when my father taught us how to play guitar, and we started up a band in my garage. We thought our dream would take us so far, but after a week or so it all just fell apart. But we were higher than the ceiling, middle fingers to the sky. I remember thinking if I only could stop the time right now. Way back when we didn't care what they said. People could stare, I didn't give a damn, 'cause I was being next to you. Way back when we didn't care what they said. People could stare, I didn't give a damn, 'cause all I needed was my friend. Way back when, way back when we were high.
such a sight, watching all the lovers fall into the night. All the moods in a heartbeat. We're going back where it all began. The same ground on the heartbeat. Starts to shake with your all we can. Winter time to spring, I remember everything from Wichita. This town is on its knees, you know God is overseas, I'm telling ya. Oh, it's more to this than what you see. You know this town's got the best of me. Are we sure it's the last time? Sure that there's a